Good morning, everyone. We're back here at our little river spot. Absolutely beautiful this morning. This is the third time I have fished this river, and so far I've caught some bowfins, some bass. First time I came, I caught a crappie. I have never crappie fished ever in my life. I've caught a few of them like when I'm bass fishing or brim fishing, but I've never actually just caught a bunch of crappie. So I've done some research online, figured out a lot about them. I bought a couple of jigs, supposed to fish them on light line or like a 1/16 of an ounce, all the weights and stuff like that. The fun part is they say wherever they're at, they like to gather around wood. Well, if you'll look at this place, there's no there's no shortage of wood in the water. So we're gonna be taking those jigs and like going in between this wood, jiggling up and down, and they like to school up. So if we find one, we can probably catch a few of them. But that's the goal today, to try to learn how to crappie fish. So y'all come along with me, let's learn together. Now in Florida, there is a regulation of only 25 fish per day, and they have to be over 10 inches. They're also called the speckled perch, but if any fish are caught less than 10 inches, they have to be put back immediately. One thing, just want to kind of go over before we get the boat in, safety precautions. So in Florida, you always have to have a life jacket, and yes, that's an old beat up life jacket. But y'all, I use this thing to hunt on, to fish on. It ain't gonna look pretty no matter what I do with it. And then you always have to have a whistle. That way, if you get stranded or something. But the law says if you're in a canoe, you have to have a paddle. There's my paddle. Life jacket. There's my whistle. That's all my other stuff for today. I also got Betsy in there just in case we run into something that don't like us and we don't like it. So we're sliding the boat in. About to get started. So for our crappie fishing today, done a lot of research on it, and a lot of people were talking good about these right here. Now I actually brought a rooster tail too. There's my rooster tail. What's good about that is the paint's mostly knocked off of it because we've been catching so many fish on it. I don't see why a crappie would not bite that, being they're kind of like a brim hybrid, but I don't know, we'll see. All right, we're putting the boat in. I'm seeing fish splash everywhere. I'm wanting to fish so bad. We're putting the boat in. We're getting started. Well, I want to not jaw in the water. When you're paddling, you're always going left, over. Sometimes I forget there's a camera in front of me and I wind up smacking the full out of it. About just put y'all in the water. That would not have been good. Okay, y'all seen all that. That was fun. People always, say stuff about the deer I kill and stuff. I killed some good ones, I ain't gonna lie. But I do that same thing for deer hunting. And ain't nobody else coming back here to do all that. If they do it one time, they're like, I'll go somewhere else. I can kill a deer. My whole thing is, I'm gonna go somewhere I feel almost 100% positive I can kill one and kill a big one. So I'm willing to do that, especially when it's cold, these cooler days. Anyway, we finally got through the junk. We fixing to start fishing. So I've told y'all this is my first time crappie fishing. That is 100% legit, y'all. I bought a couple of different types of baits, just stuff I seen off the internet. People were catching them on. And some people tell me they jig them, like bounce it up and down. Some are throwing it, pulling it, letting it fall, pull it, let it fall. So I'm just doing everything. I'll do a little bit of one and then stop and do another one, because I honestly don't have a clue. We got one, y'all. We got a fish. Oh my goodness. Look what that. It's a big old, I won't tell you it's a sunfish, but it is a brim. That is not the species we're after. Nice brim right there, y'all. Technically called a sunfish. In the South, we call them brim. See you, buddy. Thank you. So this is turning out to be a little more difficult than I figured. Or that I know. I mean, I don't know. For y'all that do crappie fish, give your boy some hints. Man, what's going on? I know they're here because I caught one when I was here last time. I actually caught it back there, so I figured when I got there, that was going to be like the spot. I fished it out thoroughly. I caught zero. I didn't get a bite on a fish. I am stripping down because it has been 2 hours of fishing. I'm starting to warm up. Still, we have zero. Absolutely nothing. Something. Get over a tree. There it is. Oh, it's a brim. It's just old brim. It is a fish, but it's not the one we're after. Got something, y'all. Another brim. So here he is. I've been fishing with a, let me put him back so he can go. I think he just peeked my face, that's great. I've been fishing with a squiggly tail. Well, I just broke it off and I said, you know what, we've only caught 2 fish, the old brim. We haven't even caught a crappie at all. So I changed to this one. That was the second cast. So maybe we're gonna be on to something. We're gonna throw it right back in that same spot. Sometimes them brim and crappie might be together is what I hear. Oh, we got something, y'all. Oh, good gosh. Hold on. Oh my gosh, that a brim. That is not the species we're looking for, but that sucker is huge, y'all. Look at that. My gosh, he's Puritan, got a knot on his head. That's a big thing. That's a big one. All right, we're gonna get him off and put him back. Oh. Okay, we're hung. Thought for sure I had a fish. All right, guys, we're done for the day. As soon as I got off, as soon as I got that little limb off and threw it back in the water, the next cast I threw it over a tree limb, broke my line. And of course I got more beetle spins, but I broke my line, so I picked up my other jig, first cast on it, broke it off. So I'm taking that as a sign we need to call it a day. So we wound up catching 3 or 4, 5 brim. Caught one stud. I mean, he was bigger than my hand. He had a pure knot on his head and was purple. How many people have seen purple brim? I mean, that's crazy. But anyway, we're headed out of here. Unload the boat and on to our next adventure. So if you can feel better about not catching fish, I guess this would be the time. There's a guy, he's actually still right here. He's backing his boat back down, I guess, to reset it. Anyway, so this river system, you have to have like a canoe or a kayak to pull it over trees to go up. You can put in and go down with a boat. And so that's where he was coming up from the bottom and I was coming down from the top, if that makes any sense to y'all. But anyway, he had live scope on his boat. And he asked me, he said, did you catch anything? So I was about to ask you the same thing, because I said I caught some brim, but I caught crappie up here last time, so I figured I'd come up here and just slay the crappie. And he said, man, I've had my live scope on, been all up and down this thing. He said, I didn't find any crappie at all. I think he said he caught 2 little old brim and 2 blackfish. So I caught like 5 or 6 brim and 2 blackfish. So we done about the same thing, which is kind of weird. But that makes me feel better, being that he's a guy that actually had live scope. Like, he can physically see the fish and still didn't find them. So maybe they've just moved, transitioned, I don't know. So something's different, but it didn't work out today anyway. But we're leaving here, headed home. Crappie fishing was a bust, but we was able to explore and find out that we can catch a bunch of brim up there if we want to come back brim fishing. So all in all, it's been a good day. Thank y'all for coming along. I'll see y'all on the next one.